Alright, in this video I'm going to be doing a video on the Eureka the Smart Vac. We're just going to vacuum this hard floor and then the carpet in there. I haven't really done a lot of videos on this machine, although I do think there's a few that I've done earlier on the channel. But I guess I'll just give you a basic overview. It's not even that dirty right now. I don't use it often. Obviously there's dirt and all these, crevices and stuff, and it's got like a fine layer of dust. At the moment I started running HEPA bags in this. I would not want to have to try and find a motor for one of these. I don't think it would be that fun. I also bought a 3-pack of pre-motor filters, and that 3-pack of motor filters also came with a new HEPA filter, which I'll show you in a second, and 3 paper bags. But I got a bunch of these HEPA bags for this machine, and let's just say it made a huge difference in how this thing performs, and it just keeps the inside of here clean. I mean, it's black instead of brown. And there's actually a lot of fine dust in here because we get a lot of sheetrock dust around our house right now from the renovations we're doing and stuff. So this thing gets a fair... I don't purposely go out of my way to, just go through piles of sheetrock dust like I do with my Hoover Air, but I have had to vacuum up some with it, just, I've done just, a little bit into that room just to kind of clean up the first area in front of that door, and then this area here, and then the hallway, which you can clearly see there's sheetrock dust. Which, like I said, it's not affected because of these HEPA bags, and these were cheap. I forget what brand they are, but they were pretty cheap. But they'll probably come up if you just look up Eureka the Smart Vac HEPA bags, because that's all I did. So I do run cloth HEPA bags in this. Like I said, it's made a huge difference. I did buy a 2-pack of belts. These do use a flat belt on like a standard stretch rubber belt because it does have this thing, which is very hard to use, but it functions. At least it has a bare floor on-off switch. I'll have to do a review on this machine eventually. Now it's not in the state to be reviewed. It's kind of a hot mess because I've been using it. And, another issue, this new belt, and this thing is worn out, so the pulley kind of engages when it's not supposed to engage. Like right now, it's in bare floor mode, or it's in carpet mode, and it's engaging, which it's not supposed to in the upright position. Which, I'm not really sure why it does that, but I'm not really too worried about it. I think it's just because this is worn out so the pulley doesn't lift up all the way. It still kind of sits on the belt a little bit, but at least the brush hole does indeed shut off. It shuts off when it's supposed to. But yeah, I was trying to think of what I was saying. There's a lot of height adjustments on this, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this has always been nice and easy to turn. It's nice and, the way it's shaped, it's easy to grab. A lot of vacuums, it's like those slider ones or just a normal circle, and I've always got, one finger here, one finger there. It's very easy to do. But yeah, and this, on the other hand, to get it into carpet is easy, but getting it into bare floor is not something you would want to do if you have like painful hands or something. Just squeeze that in. It always feels like it's gonna break, but it's not. This big old thing, which kind of gives the vacuum its muscular look. And those 3 pre-motor filters and the HEPA filter and the 3 bags that I got were all generic, but it seems to work pretty well so far. It seems to be catching crap, so and it does have a nice rubber seal on it, along with fine paper plate. It would have been like 20 bucks for a brand new, genuine one, but I got those 3 pre-motor filters, the 3 paper bags, which I don't use, but I did use the 1 pre-motor filter out of the 3, and this. I got all of it for like $15, so I'm not gonna complain. Or not even. I'll have to go back in my purchases, but And it's got the seal around like it's supposed to. And, yeah. That's not a Febreze one or anything, it's just a standard one, but it does what it's supposed to. It's probably not perfect. I don't use this thing enough to want it to be perfect. And if anything, since I bought the HEPA bags, I kind of had room to cheapen out on a HEPA filter personally, because the HEPA bags were more important to me. This is like a Dirt Devil combo tool. You can slide the thing off. But yeah, it kind of sits in here okay. And I do need an upholstery tool for it. It does have a crevice tool that's hidden just like on a shark. It's behind the cord here and behind the hose. And it has 2 extension wands. It's got like the Hoovers of the time. It has 2 extension wands, except the 2 extension wands go into each other. Unlike the Hoover, which had them separate. This right here, you know how every vacuum has like a little thing for the extension wand to kind of be guided on, so it's not just dangling all over the place. Well, that was broken when I got this, so this is like a bottle cap, and I just glued it on there, and it actually seems to work pretty well. Let's see if I can kind of show you what I mean. This one doesn't have it, because it's just weird. Oh, here. You know, like a little stud for it to go on. Or, that's not really, literally, here's a bagless version, basically. One of those little things. Just to kind of hold it in place. It's not friction or anything, it just keeps this from dangling all over the place. There we go. So yeah, that was broken when I got this. But this is 2 fairly long extension wands, actually. And it's actually a nice crevice tool. It's got a couple little vent holes on it. But yeah, so, you know, at first I thought that was like an extension wand, because on any other Eureka, you see this and you're like, oh, extension wand, but no, it was actually, crevice tool. And I'm like, oh, that must be a crevice tool, and it was actually an extension wand. So yeah, hose has kinks. It's ripped right there, so it's held together with a bunch of electrical tape. The bottom is a whole nother mess. The changeover valve and everything works. This tube isn't cracked. This tube isn't messed up. And this one is fixed with the electrical tape and it functions. This isn't broken off. I'm pretty sure that was an issue with these. But the switch is good. That was an issue with these. This doesn't have that issue. This isn't broken. Headlight works. The bare floor thing works. Like I said, I think it's just worn out. That's why it engages when it's not supposed to. Like right now, this should be free spinning, but it's kind of engaging and it's not supposed to. Obviously, I think I've oiled all these wheels, and I think I've greased these 2 rear ones. I could be wrong though. No, I think what I did, yeah, I think I did grease them. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really remember, honestly. But either way, all these screws, the threads are cracked because this is a clear plastic base, and I think I made a video a while back on this machine explaining why I hate these clear plastic bases, because this clear plastic gets more brittle and it cracks easier. So I'll show you in a second, but these 2 screws on the bottom here, not these top ones, but the 2 on the bottom that hold the axle in, are both cracked, and there's really, you can see, I'll show you better in a second. These 2 screws are also messed up, but I kind of fixed them. I used 2 longer screws, because what I noticed with the shorter ones weren't long enough to use up all the threads that were in here. So the manufacturer made enough threads, but the short screws only went into like half the threads that were there. At least that's what I'm thinking, because these longer ones went in pretty well from what I remember. Either way, the base plate holds on now, which I would much prefer over, you know, not. You do kind of want that to be held on. These two are still there, the two little hinge clips, but these two side ones are broken. This here doesn't really fit properly. It's kind of, you know, deformed. This is also kind of poking out right here. But yeah, I just used two longer fine thread screws. So who knows, I might have messed it up more inside of there, but I just wanted the base plate to stay on, which it's still just kind of loosey-goosey. But, you know, it seems to function somewhat decently. I think a lot of these smart vacs apparently, the two smart vacs that Intelitech Studios has, which he has this one, and then he has a red one, both of them seem to have a recline pedal issue. As for mine, this one is stiff, but it does function. It's just stiff. And this whole machine, these older Eurekas always did get creaky. But yeah, and with all those issues, I paid about $80 for this thing brand new, and I'm not proud of it. Or not $80 brand new, $80 used in this condition. The cord is, you know, messed up to hell. You know, there's a rubber band right here because it's so floppy from all the rubber being chewed up. Clearly a dog got to this cord or something. See, there's another bad spot right there. And then right where it comes out of the machine is somehow all chewed up. So, yeah. You know, I paid $80 for it. They shipped it like a freaking dog. Like, you're supposed to ship a vacuum better than a dog. You shouldn't be shipping a dog. But yeah, this thing was shipped horribly. They left the handle on it, and that would be okay if they did it properly. But no, they indeed left it, and what happened is clearly there was no packaging in the box. It was a Eureka power speed box, actually. And let's just say it, the box had nothing in it besides probably the styrofoam from that power speed, and this handle was bent away from the blue here. The black and blue are spread apart. So I had to tighten those screws and just pray to God that the threads weren't wrecked, and so far they have held up. So yeah, very creaky, but it seems to function. Eventually I'll do a full review on this machine, hopefully once I get a proper dusting brush and a proper upholstery tool for it. I'd like to have it complete. But yeah, for now I'm actually able to use it since I got the HEPA bags. Now I can use it without, you know, just like this one. You know, HEPA bags. Except these HEPA bags don't seem to work quite as well. But still better than paper bags. There. But yeah, and you know, comparing these two, which I believe they were from a similar time. This one is an 06, I believe. This one's like 8. Obviously, the Smart Vac is way bigger. Personally, as a daily driver, I'd rather use the Panasonic. Doesn't necessarily feel more sturdy, but it feels more nimble. And sometimes when things feel really big, it almost feels like they'll break easier. And that's kind of the case with the Smart Vac. This thing's so light. Doesn't look light, but and a lot of people think they're heavy, but for what they are, they're pretty light. You know, it's got a metal handle, metal base plate, metal brush roll. You know, can't really go wrong. And it doesn't have any screws holding the base plate on. There's just hinges, so it won't have any of the issues that this had. That was also probably cheaper. I don't want to throw Eureka off the button. That was probably cheaper. But this also has an on. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I need to look into that pulley system. It's engaging when it's not supposed to. When in the upright position, it's not supposed to be spinning. But, yeah, just while I was vacuuming, this torque, so you know it's from this. Oh, I think that's from what I was going to show you earlier. Yep, it is. So, the threads for this are completely broken. No matter what you do, these threads are just shot. Which I don't really know what to do about that, but, because it's just, that's what happens with this clear plastic. None of the other parts on this vacuum are broken besides this clear base. And the same issue happened with my, Hoover Wind Tunnel 2, the blue one. But, yeah. So, probably end up just gluing that screw in so it's there. Kind of like I did with this one, that's silicone adhesive, and that actually seems to be holding this screw in so far. But you kind of need all those screws to be there, because they will hold on, which I do like that this is a solid rear axle here. So, you know, chances are these wheels are never going to fall off, unless this shit falls off. So, yeah. But, you know, that's... See, now it's not really engaging that much. It's pretty free spinning. Maybe it just needs a cleaning in there, which this thing, the whole thing is in need of a refurb. Just a good tune-up. I should honestly just buy a new cord. It's not that hard to do. I'm just lazy. But, yeah. Especially this one, you don't even have to take down to the motor to do it, because I can literally just take out this section here, and it reveals enough of the cord for me to just, you know, redo it and then put it inside of this little empty hollow area there. But, yeah. So, let me guys know what you guys thought about these Eureka Smart Vacs. I always thought they were pretty decent machines for what they were. I think they were like $150 brand new. You could have gotten the Eureka Contour, which was the bagged version of this, for cheaper, because the Contour didn't have the thing. And the bagless version of this was the Ultra Whirlwind Lightspeed. And you can kind of tell that they're related to each other right away. Same base, same kind of big old body figure, and then the Contour basically looks the same as this, but bagged. Same boxy, you know, looking sharp angles type thing. Which, I gotta say, that is a nice looking vacuum brother. Same with this when it's clean, but obviously, I don't know how, like, that's, you could probably measure that with a feeler gauge or something. It's pretty deep, like, I wish I could get a good angle on it, but it's pretty deep gouge. You know, it would almost be like, I had like here's like a razor blade. Wait, here's a penny. So it's about as deep as a penny thickness. No, it's deeper than a penny thickness. Oh, that's sad. Okay. And yeah, I paid $80 for this. But, it didn't have all these issues that, like, on the bottom. Those weren't cracked until I took it apart for the first time to put the new belt on. So just, you know, me cracking the screws loose cracked all that. And then when I, wanted to, fix up this rear axle because it was really rusty, I just wanted to clean it up. That's when those cracked. So, yeah. What you gonna do? Otherwise, it's a functional machine. You know, I'm going to continue running HEPA bags in it. That seems to help a lot in terms of keeping the motor healthy. I have torn it down to the motor, and the first time I tore it down to the motor, I was very impressed by how clean it was, and that was before I started using HEPA bags. But just the way these are designed, they are well-built machines. They're creaky and kind of, you know, stiff, but they don't break or fall apart. Same with this Ultima. I mean, the only thing that broke on this was the base, because it was, I don't know what happened to it when that happened, but just the screw hole broke. So yeah, this has a new chassis and a new top plate on it, but luckily I was able to find a yellow one. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This video has gone on way too long. And hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Peace. Oh wait, no, peace.